kind of introduced us. We are both 30 years old. We live in Louisiana. We would show you our dog, but she's still in bed. She doesn't want to come out. She's a little white Maltese. So we'll cut to the chase. I went to college at Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where I'm originally from. I played basketball there from 2005 to 2009, so all 4 years. After college, I picked up and moved about 6 hours away from my hometown to Louisville, Kentucky. Been there for about the last 7 years. When I was 21 years old, I was a junior in college, playing basketball, going to school, trying to get my degree. We were actually on a road trip game. I got a phone call from my father. It was on the next flight home. And 2 days later, my mother passed from breast cancer. So she battled it for about 6 years. And her passing was actually caused by a very rare stomach cancer. So thankfully, I was able to be there with her, kind of see and hold her on her last breath. But at the same time, again, I'm 21 years old. Trying to finish college, trying to play ball, go to practice, and kind of keep my little circle and world together. And she is by far my biggest reason, my biggest motivation. Just a day before her passing, she told me, whether I go or I fight through this, you continue going to school, you continue doing what you do, you continue going to practice. And it was like a little tough to hear and accept, because it was accepting, okay, I'm about to lose my mother. How in the world am I going to continue on? But fortunately, that is exactly what I did. I took those words and graduated with a degree in communication, which is odd because I do not like public speaking, and my whole degree was actually focused around that. And so I got my degree in 2009, stayed on the basketball team, got through all of that. And when I relocated, it was about 2 years or so after that I kind of fell into fitness through a best friend that was working at a personal training company. And fitness is so big in my life because my mother was a certified personal trainer right before she passed. So she independently studied and busted her butt to get her certification. At 51 years old, she was training. She did a mini triathlon. She was fit. She was healthy, everything. So I had a friend of mine that asked if I'd like to come work at this new studio that was a brand new business. And so I went through the interviews. I got, hired eventually, got a couple clients, and just immediately fell in love with personal training, knowing that this was something my mother did that I can now do. And on top of that, just helping people. So it was such a relief to just find my passion and just kind of roll with it and see where it went. So, like I said, my mother has always been my motivation, even to this day. Every morning I wake up, and I always tell people, when you lose a loved one, there are two crucial paths that you can take. One is, you kind of fall into that depression and you kind of shut people out and you're in your own little world and you try and handle it on your own. And the other one is just honoring and doing everything you can to make that loved one proud who's watching over you. And so, again, every morning, what can I do to make my mother proud? What can I do to make sure she can see I'm on the right path and I'm being taken care of? So that's kind of the mindset I wake up every single day. And where I'm at right now, like I said, we live in Louisiana. 2 years ago, I launched my own business online called Face Fitness, and it's actually virtual personal training. So through the computer like this, I'm able to train clients, whether they travel, they're uncomfortable in a gym setting, they don't want a gym membership. I do small spaces, equipment, no equipment. And really, when I designed the company, it was to eliminate any excuse as to why people aren't even getting just a 30-minute workout in. And I want people to just have this convenience and be comfortable while they're training. And so I knew if I got online, I was able to reach way more people outside of where I am locally. So having your own business, it's a challenge. There's highs, there's lows, clientele's flowing in, then there's months where you don't know why you can't get a client or when you're gonna get a client. But I think it's moments like that where you grow in your business and you grow as an individual. And honestly, in the last year, Face Fitness has been very slow. But what I've found is most important is who I'm surrounding myself with. And Kristy and I are in business together. She does all the nutrition for my clientele. And to just have that tight-knit circle, it has allowed me to continue with Face Fitness when there was times where I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And she would help brainstorm ideas. She would kind of pick things up when it seemed like I was falling apart in my own business. So whatever you guys choose to do in life, whether it's your own business, you work for somebody else, your circle of support is the most crucial part from getting you from point A to point B. You know, in life, we're not meant to do things completely on our own. You can be a dependent woman, but at the same time, who's your circle? Who's picking you up? Who's supporting you? So that's definitely a piece of advice I want to pass along is pay attention to your support group, friends, family, teachers, acquaintances, whatever it may be. So again, fitness has been just a huge passion. I've always been an athlete, but I wouldn't say I've always been fit. Oh, it's storming. Can you guys hear that thunder?
That is scary.
If you see Kristy jump, it's because she is like scared of lightning big time.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
no joke.
And we have like all windows, so we're just staring at it. So again, have I always been fit? Not necessarily. I've always been an athlete. It wasn't until I got into personal training when I learned just ways to be fit and ways to eat healthy. And, you know, Krsity does a lot of training and also nutrition. So I've kind of grown and learned based off of how she does nutrition. And she'll kind of touch into that. I don't want to go into that. I'm all training. So to touch, I guess, a little bit nutrition, the way she has me eat is the most sustainable, long-term way to be healthy, enjoy life, go out to eat with your friends, not miss out on those birthdays and holidays. And that's something that we're trying to just build a clientele around. Not these fad diets, not these low-carb diets, not these just different things that essentially in the long run can ruin your body and can have you starting way over at a certain point. So like I said, right now, together we are in a business that we actually just launched 2 days ago, and it is called the Virtual Fit Box. You guys probably have seen a lot of those sample boxes that are mailed out to people. There's makeup, jewelry, clothing, there's fitness supplements, all those different boxes, and it's every month, it's a subscription. And the way ours differs is we provide guys with a different samples of workouts that we write up. There's at home, at the gym, ab workouts. There are recipes to where if you go to the grocery store with a certain list of ingredients, you're able to make multiple meals, and we show you how. We have discount codes, challenges, all of that stuff. And so we eliminating the weight on shipping. We eliminated the fees on shipping costs. You don't have to be home to receive your box. You can be anywhere. So again, it's convenient for people who travel. And it's just providing people with workout content, and we show them how we give you 3 workouts. You can turn those into 12 different workouts. So we literally just launched that 2 days ago, and we've had some subscribers already sign up, and we just have a really big passion and vision for that. So we're excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm tagging you in. It's your turn.
Are you done?
Yeah, unless they ask some questions at the end, but yeah.
All right. I'm Krsity, and my story is a little bit different, but kind of similar since we're both in the fitness industry. Mine started, I was already in the industry when my story kind of started. I grew up playing sports, basketball, cheerleader, track, all through high school. I'm really short. I'm 5'3", so it kind of ended after high school for me. I was not playing basketball.
I think 5'3" is on a good day.
Right, and even in high school, that was a big deal that I was even on the court. But I was really quick and fast, so I think that was the only thing that kind of saved me. And obviously for cheerleading, I got tossed up a lot. So that was kind of my only part on the squad. But so after high school, I went to college and I pretty much did any major you could imagine. I am a very creative person. And so for me to kind of like pick one thing, it just freaks me out. I like to try everything and experience everything. So when I was really young, I thought, how can you expect me to pick one career and stick with it for the rest of my life? I'm 18 years old. That's absolutely insane. But it's possible because you see people doing it every day. So I kind of took a different path and was just like, I'm going to take a bunch of different electives and I'm going to experience a multitude of avenues and see what fits me and where my interest lies. And through all of this, I stayed in the gym and I stayed working out and still playing sports, even though I wasn't in school. I started working in the gym when I was 16, so I'm 30 now. So I've literally been in a gym for over half my life. I started just interning under personal trainers, and I started making smoothies, cleaning tanning beds, and just walking around cleaning sweat off of machines, but doing anything I could to find out what else was out there for me in the fitness industry. And that just kind of grew into more and more opportunity at the gym. And kind of fast forward a little bit, I started doing fitness competitions, and I devoted 24/7 of my time to them. And at the moment, I thought it was great, and it was supposed to be hard. It was supposed to take up all my time. It was supposed to put my body through this just traumatic experience. I was supposed to barely eat food and do hours of cardio, because if it was easy, every single person would be competing out there. So I just made excuses for reasons why I would miss birthday parties and family events and things with my friends, because I was at the gym 24/7 to be on stage in a bikini for 5 minutes. And I thought it was okay. So I did that a few years, and right at the end of my last competition, it was about 2 or 3 weeks after, I literally laid down and I ate a muffin. Okay, I'm not making any of this up. It's gonna sound crazy, but I ate a muffin, and afterwards my stomach just got really big. And I called my mom and I was like, something is not right. I just don't feel well. And she's like, you probably ate too much. Like, quit freaking out, go to bed, it's late. So I went to bed. I woke up the next day and my stomach was even bigger. And I called her, I was like, Mom, I'm having trouble breathing. I do not feel well, something's not right. So I went to work. I'm still at the gym. At this point, I'm certified. I'm training people on my own. I'm training youth athletes, and I'm in class, and I am just barely breathing at all. And so I called my mom, they rushed me to the hospital. And from that day, over 3 years ago, my life completely changed, and it's never been the same since. I immediately got put into the hospital. My kidneys and liver were shutting down. I started a line of surgeries that from this date now have led to 18 surgeries. At times we're having 2 and 3 a month. They were experimenting on me. At times I just felt like I was just a pin cushion. They were poking and cutting and just opening me up to find things that were never even there to begin with. They finally ran a test that found out I had a 1% rare condition. It was a vascular disease called median arcuate ligament syndrome. And my celiac artery that is off of your aorta was facing upward when it should have been facing down. So I wasn't getting enough blood flow to the lower organs of my body. So they went in. First, they cut the ligament and it didn't work. Then they did another surgery, and then I had to have a bypass in 2013. So I went in and I had the bypass, and it lasted a really long time. And about 2:00 a.m. after the bypass, I remember coming out of the anesthesia, and I told the nurse how bad I was feeling. And I could hear her, I was going in and out, I could hear her calling over the intercom for the doctor to come quick. And when they came to me, I found out that I was being rushed back into surgery because I was bleeding internally. So your body holds 10 units of blood, and I had lost 6. So they were just pumping blood, but I was losing it at the same time. So I had to be rushed in 24 hours with another surgery to then have my liver fixed, because they had nicked my liver as they were trying to fix the aorta. So they managed to get all of that fixed. I have a nylon mesh bypass valve in my heart that kind of keeps everything open and flowing properly. all of my valves and vessels in my body close on their own and they have to be manually opened. So I get that checked every so often. Not long after that, they found out that I had stage 3 endometriosis. And for females out there, I'm sure all of you understand what that is. It's just a female disease that happens. And I just preach like going to the doctor, become an early detection, so where you can get that checked and make sure that you're getting proper treatment and proper care, so where that does not spread quicker than what it should, and that you're just taking care of your body. So to kind of speed up through the health stuff, that is a daily, I guess a daily struggle. I never know what my body is going to do. I just kind of wake up and take the day for what it is. If it's a really bad day, I just hang out in bed and watch Netflix or do work from home. I'm so grateful that we own a business where we can work from home. I as well own my own business, Krsity Adams Fitness, and I do nutrition with Erin. When I finish school, I have the degree in nutrition, biology, and then personal training and sports and conditioning. So we work with kids and athletes, but we also have the liberty to work from home. So when I'm feeling bad, I can still work from home. And when I have good days, I live the day like I'm not going to get to go out tomorrow because I might not be able to. I had surgery this past Tuesday, and it wasn't even 24 hours, and I was already feeling like that depression kick in because I wasn't at the gym. And I knew I can't go to the gym for another 2 weeks until the doctor allows me to. And so I just encourage people that like you never know when something's going to up and change for you. It could change within the next 30 minutes. It could change tomorrow. I was on that high of just in the gym every day. I was living my life. I was in complete control of everything. And then that night my life changed, and I've never had the same life since. I was on the go 24/7, and now I can do that for a week, and then I'm in the bed for a week. So I don't have control. I have to let my body control what I do. But at the same time, in my mind, I have to have control. So I just encourage you to take every day for what it's worth and live every day for that day. Try not to worry about what tomorrow is going to bring. Try not to worry about what yesterday had, but worry about today. And as far as, again, what she was saying about surrounding yourself with people, I firmly agree with her. You know, as I've grown up, I've had to kind of weed out some of the negative people that don't support my career path or, you know, the dreams and the goals that we have. And I believe that when you surround yourself with like-minded people, then that's when you start to succeed, because those are the people who are going to say, get up, you are better than this, you're not going to fail today, you're not going to give up today, you have more left in you. Those are the people that keep you from quitting. And it might be that you have to limit yourself from hanging out with that one person who has a negative attitude all the time, or you can't go out every night because you have to sit at home and study because you need to do well in school in order to make it to that next level. Or like us, we're trying to develop this business. So there's times where we're on the computer till midnight. And yes, we would love to be doing other things, but if we want to see the product succeed, we have to give up and make those sacrifices. So we have to make sure that we're on the same page with our goals and our dreams. Otherwise, it's not going to work because we're not going to be able to push one another.
And I feel like sometimes it can almost sound cliche when you say, you know, check out your support group, be around people who are positive, all of those things. But the minute you actually reflect on who you're surrounded by and force yourself to be around people who are going to challenge and change you, your world and everything within it just changes. It truly does. And like I said, it sounds cliche, but just reflect on your friends and even your family support or just mentors that you have. And, you know, are they changing you? If that was the only person you had in the world, would that person change you? And if so, hang on to those people, keep them nearby, keep them close, and literally just watch and see your world change. It doesn't matter how young, how old. It's so important. And we can't stress that enough.
You'll see yourself mature a lot when you start to do that, because you'll learn who's on your maturity level and who isn't. And then you'll also just reflect on yourself, like, whoa, I need to step my game up. Like, I'm really immature in these areas, and I need to kind of fix that if I want to reach the goals that I'm setting for myself. And just one other thing I want to say about fitness. I had a lot of people with just doing the competitions. A lot of people were asking, well, was it the competitions that got you sick? Was it the competitions that caused all of your health issues? And I was born with all of the health issues that I have, and I have a list that goes on for days. But the doctors actually told me that had I not been so fit and had so much muscle, that the amount of weight I lost, I would not have made it through that surgery. So I try and tell people, like, being healthy and being fit, it's not just to look good. It's not just to say, okay, hey, I'm healthy. You never know what life is going to throw at you that you need to be fit and healthy for. And it's a motto that I stand by every single day, that when you get up in the morning, you need to have your life ready so that whatever gets thrown at you, you can attack it 100% and know that you're going to make it and that you're going to be the best at it that day. You're going to be the best version that you were created to be, that your purpose every single day is being fulfilled because you've done your part and nobody else is going to do it for you. You are the only person that can fulfill every single thing you were sent to do every day. So think about that when it comes to school, fitness, your friends, just your everyday life, that, you know, again, nobody's going to do it but you.
Preach it.
And on top of that, go ahead.
No, I was to say, preach it. Preach it, girl.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm just going to go in the bed with Bella. Yeah. So another thing, Molly, they're about to go into like a weight training series. Is that right?
Yep. They start tomorrow.
Okay. I'm super excited for you guys. I hope, you know, Molly can follow up with us and let us know how it goes. But one thing we always get, if I pick up weights, am I going to get big and bulky? Am I going to look like a man? Absolutely not. It's so important to incorporate that weight training. And just like she said, it's so far beyond looking good. It's being healthy. It's being strong. It's being prepared for anything, any job, any opportunity. And we constantly tell clients, like, put the 5-pound dumbbells down and get under some weight and challenge yourself. And I know for the both of us, that hour workout, that training is like a release from the world. Whether you throw some headphones on or go train with your best friend, it's that time to just better you, better your health, and just kind of take a break from everything that's going on. So that's kind of what kept me going in the fitness world too. It was like I needed that hour throughout the day to just kind of escape, and that's how I used it, was through fitness.
Yeah.
So
I think pick up some weights and get big.
What'd you say?
I said, so pick up some weights and get big.
I think one of the things I've noticed through my 4 years teaching that, I mean, everyone wants immediate results, and they get frustrated when they don't get it right away. And I mean, these girls here are witness to the fact that, I mean, when we did our HIIT unit, I mean, some of these girls lost 5 pounds right away, but then they kind of plateaued. And so it became harder to keep that motivation. What would you say for them in terms of that?
I know that when I talk to clients about just weight training, cardio, and nutrition, I always talk about a slow and steady pace to keep things sustainable and to keep yourself from hitting plateaus. And then there's also resources to break the plateaus. And there's kind of 2 routes to that. If I were to have someone come to me with a nutrition plan or a weightlifting plan, I could set you up on something that was extremely aggressive over a 4-week plan, and you would lose, 5 to 8 pounds within that 4 weeks. But after that, your body would hit a plateau because we've cut your calories so low, or we've given you so much cardio that your body has nowhere else to pull from. And so then we would look at it and say, okay, well, let's remove more calories or let's add more cardio, but you're already doing the max amount. So I cannot break your plateau. So we've exhausted all measures within that 4 weeks. So the better route to take would be, okay, let's go at a slower pace. Let's slowly take away some calories. Let's slowly add in that cardio and that weight training. So where every week you're losing maybe a pound. And so you're consistently breaking off that weight a pound at a time. And then when you hit that first plateau, it's no big deal because I still have hundreds of calories to take away. And I still have so much cardio I'm allowed to give you without you reaching that caloric deficit that's dangerous for your metabolism, or that's dangerous for you to be doing too much cardio that you're tapping into muscle gain rather than fat burning. So it's all about trying to keep that slow and steady pace and keeping things sustainable rather than, okay, I'm going to go hardcore and give it everything I have for a month. And then it's like, okay, I don't see anything, so who cares? I'm just going to go back to what I was doing before. Mm-hmm. And that's not just you guys. Like we get clients like that all the time. Every day I'll get an email and they say, I had a really good 2 months. I lost 12 pounds, but I've gained 24 back because this is what I did. And okay, well, now it's going to take us, double time to get rid of all that weight. Had you come to me before and we did it slowly, you would have had a healthier weight loss. It would have been more sustainable and more natural for you to do it. And we would have kept it off rather than you gaining double back. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say is just do it slow, keep it very sustainable, and just make small goals along the way.
And I think what's important is the ways that we monitor and check people and clients' progress. The scale is the absolute last worst thing we ever bring up, talk about, whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Your family has a scale, throw that away. That's their Christmas gift to them. Get rid of it. We constantly tell people, take photos. Everybody hates taking before photos, but everybody loves when they're able to look back and see the progress and the changes. So we always tell clients, take before photos. Pay attention to, is your weight increasing in your workouts? Is your energy increasing? Do you feel better? If you're out there doing cardio or sprints, are you able to knock them out in a shorter amount of time? Are you able to sprint at a faster pace? That's the progress that you pay attention to on a daily basis, to where now you look back after 4 weeks and it's like, oh my goodness, look how far I've come. And a lot of times those clients who are progressing, they'll get on the scale and maybe lose 1 to 2 pounds, but their photos side by side are just a world of difference. Yeah. And it's the best way for us to be like, hey, look at these. Like, you got to see what we see. And they don't unless they take their photos. So firm believers, we hate the scale. It's information we may need in the beginning for her to customize different things in their nutrition plans. But after that, it's one of the worst enemies for weight loss, weight gain, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Agree. So. Girls, you got anything?
First off, I don't think they look like they're 30.
Did you hear that?
No, we can't hear her.
Say it louder.
You look 30. You look younger.
You don't look.
We look younger than 30? It must be.
You don't look a day over 18.
We don't look a day over 18. Is she talking to me, her, both of us?
Work it.
I'm not working it. She just better be talking to both of us.
She is.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
Y'all don't look any older than like 15. So.
Seriously. They probably want to look older.
I didn't hear what you said.
Well, like, I was in a really close relationship with one of my friends, and like they backstabbed me, and I thought like they were my go-to and stuff. Like, well, what advice could they give to like?
Did you hear that at all? I can say it again.
Was it she had a really close relationship with a good friend, they backstabbed her, and then was the question, what advice would?
Yes.
What advice would you give her, Emily?
Yep, Emily.
I mean, 100%.
I would have to filter my advice. Go ahead.
I'm gonna filter as I'm talking. So if I don't filter something, just plug your ear. No, to be 100% honest, and I have a cousin, he's 16, he's a junior in high school, and I tell him this every time that he stays with us. Things that happen in high school are not going to matter in college, and things that matter in college are not going to matter later on in life. And I didn't get it when someone told me, so I don't expect for you to really understand that when I'm telling you. It's like it clicks once high school's over. But someone that is going to turn their back on you, or that is going to throw you under the bus like that, they do not have your best interests at heart. They do not have the security in themselves to stand up for you. They don't have the security in y'all's friendship to stand up for you. So again, that is not someone that you need in your close circle. And again, this is going to sound cliche, but I would rather have 3 friends that I could call up in the middle of the night and say, I need you, and they're going to be here, than have 30 friends that I can party with on the weekend, but I got to be careful when I go home because they're going to all talk about me. or they're going to put a picture on Instagram that I'm going to be embarrassed of. Like there's no comparison. And the older you get, you notice that your circle will get smaller. The people that you're friends with in high school, you're not going to stay connected to everyone because you're all going to kind of go your separate ways. Some you're going to stay friends with, some you're going to kind of drift apart from, or your like-mindedness is going to change. But if someone is doing you wrong or they are blatantly just stabbing you in the back, then they're consciously hurting you. And that's not someone that, just plain and simple, they don't deserve your time. And they don't deserve the respect and the security that you are putting forth towards the friendship. So just in a respectful way, I would say just back off from the friendship. And it doesn't have to be something to where you're being negative and to where you're having to apologize. You just pull yourself from that negative relationship and that situation and say, okay, this isn't for me. I'm not going to be involved in this. And by pulling yourself out, they cannot backstab you anymore because you're not there to do it. So it's hard because you're technically walking away from a friendship, but you have to look further into the future and say, okay, by walking away, I've eliminated the negativity, but I've also reduced the opportunity for this girl to ever do this to me again.
And I think on top of that too, it's important you let them know how you feel, forgive them, move forward. If they want to follow along and they recognize and realize what they did and all of those things, they'll voice it, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
And you move forward. But constantly forgive people. People are always going to make mistakes. People are going to do things, say things they didn't mean, all those different things, so forgive them, express how you feel, and leave it up to them to kind of make a decision from there. That was a great question, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone else? Open book. This is kind of a question, actually, that's been asked later on throughout all of our guest speakers, and you guys can give light to this as well. Okay. With your coming out, was that hard on you? And how did you talk about? Shut up.
I was hoping I was gonna make you feel more uncomfortable.
They might. Honestly, no, because I have the most supportive family ever. And on top of that, I made a point to let them know it doesn't change who I am, what I look like, or how I treat people. I'm still the same human being as if they didn't know. So it was a huge relief off my back. I was able to accept not only myself, but my family was accepting me. And honestly, now it's just the most fun, comfortable thing. And there's nothing kind of in my way anymore because, again, with that support, I know that at the end of the day, I have them. I'm good to go.
Right.
So I came from a very supportive background in family.
Yeah. I think I kind of came from the opposite. I come from a very religious family. So I was kind of just scared out of my mind. But as the journey has opened up, there's been a lot more support than I'd ever imagined. I kind of went in very closed-minded and very scared. And as things were said or as things were, there were times where I was told people knew that I had no idea. And it was more like, why did you ever think that we would look at you differently? Or why did you think we would care? Like, we love you for you and we don't, nothing's going to change. And it was more, I kind of played it up to be bigger than what it was. So I feel like you should always give the people that you love the opportunity rather than make that decision for them before they even know what's going on.
You literally have one life to live. There's only one of you. And it's just so important to be that
genuine you.
Yeah, that individual. Person. Be what makes you you. And let people know that. And they're either going to accept it or they're not.
And I don't mean to cut you off. The bell just rang, but I was wondering if you could give the girls like one last bit of advice to a group of 14 to 18-year-old girls. What would you give?
What she was saying, I say be you. Like, be the genuine you that you want to be. I don't care what that requires. Be who you want to be. Don't care about what people think, how they're going to judge you. Every day when you wake up, make sure that you are happy and that you are doing what you want to do.
Take care of yourself. And absolutely. Do things that make you happy. Help others. Be supportive. And don't sacrifice and don't change who you are for anybody. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You are the way you are for a reason, and I would never change that. So
awesome.
Thank you guys for listening to
It's never too late to change your luck. So